Good evening, and welcome to Kentucky Life in Franklin County. I'm your host, Bonnie Krasick. Franklin County has so much to offer, it's hard to know where to begin. As our state capital, Frankfort gets its fair share of attention. But Frankfort is also quite a town within itself. County Judge Bob Arnold sums it up for us.
Well, I'm one of the few people that you're going to meet that is a native of Franklin County. And my father was born in Franklin County, and I, too, was born here. Franklin County is a rural urban area in that we have, of course, the city of Frankfort, and we have industry here. We also have Ancient Age, we have Topi, we have Union Underwear. We have those industries that are here that are proud to be in Frankfort, but we also have horse farms, we have tobacco farming, agricultural farming, which makes it a good mix. Franklin County being the seat of state government, we also have, state government is our #1 business here, and we're proud to have state government here. However, we look at ourselves as being very diversified. We are on I-64, which is an east-west corridor. We're 20 minutes from I-75, which is a north-south corridor, 30 minutes from Lexington, 45 minutes from Louisville, and about 80 minutes from Cincinnati. So we look at Frankfort and Franklin County being a hub, if you will, for agriculture, for arts, for just bringing a good place to bring up a family.
Join us tonight as we focus on Kentucky life in Franklin County.
Frankfort is filled with Kentucky landmarks, the Capitol Building, the Floral Clock, and the Gift Box. For a quarter of a century, the Gift Box in Frankfort has promoted the work of Kentucky craftsmen. Beautiful handmade baskets, valuable antiques, quilts, and hand-woven throws, and quality furniture crafted right here in Kentucky. Don't miss the Gift Box Open House October 28th, a great way to get a jump on your holiday shopping. The Gift Box, US 60 in Frankfort and in Lexington and Richmond, a landmark to Kentucky craftsmen.
Frankfort's oldest new car dealer, Frankfort Chrysler, has a tremendous inventory of Chrysler cars and trucks on its lot on Schenkel Lane. We're proud of our selection of automobiles, but we know the reason our customers keep coming back is our people. Whether it's one of our outstanding salespeople or one of our highly qualified service technicians, the men and women of Frankfort Chrysler treat our customers with respect. Our high customer service index proves it. Frankfort Chrysler on Schenkel Lane off 421 North in Frankfort.
You'll agree we're worth the trip.
There's a new name to bank on. First Federal Savings and Loan Association is now First Federal Savings Bank of Frankfort. We've changed to better reflect our wider range of services, including Quest 24-hour banking, home equity loans, checking, CDs, and money market accounts. You'll still find the same friendly, knowledgeable staff, too. For over 55 years, the people of Frankfort have counted on First Federal for savings and home ownership, and now you have a new name to bank on. First Federal Savings Bank of Frankfort, with 3 locations to serve you. Strength from the first. You can count on it.
Frankfort, it's known as the town the river built. Right now we're in our state capital, which is a source of pride for all Kentuckians.
In 1792, when Kentucky became a state, there was a list of towns that wanted to be the capital. Frankfort was one of them. Lexington was one of them. Louisville. There was a committee selected to pick one of these towns. Well, the people of Frankfort got together and offered the land and most of the supplies to build a Capitol building with. That was the best offer. So that's why Frankfort's capital. The first Capitol lasted 20 years, burned down. Second Capitol, only 10 years, burned down. And so they took extra special care in trying to make this old Capitol. Took about 3 years to build. And it's one of the nicest buildings around. It's one of the real treasures that we still have in Frankfort. And it has been restored. Today it's home of the Kentucky Historical Society. And we're open 7 days a week, and everybody ought to come see it.
This view from Daniel Boone's grave in the Frankfort Cemetery is just one of the breathtaking sights our capital city has to offer.
We have a gorgeous state capitol building, too. Everybody's aware of that one. Probably everybody takes it for granted, but it really is one of the nicest capitol buildings in the whole country. And it's been there since 1909. We call it the new Capitol. It's really not very new anymore. And then we have two beautiful governor's mansions. Our present governor's mansion has been the home of 22 or 21 governors. We also have an old governor's mansion built in the 1790s. It's now the home of our lieutenant governor. I think the grounds of the Capitol are spectacular. The grounds crew does keep it very beautiful. We have a floral clock in the backyard. That's a nice attraction. When you go in the Capitol, the rotunda, of course, is the main attraction. We do have 5 statues. There's a collection of dolls that represent our first ladies in their inaugural ball gowns. There's a needlepoint tapestry made by the Homemakers Club, 1 square for every county. That's a nice attraction. Probably the Supreme Court room is the most formal room. The second floor contains the state reception room. There originally was the governor's reception room, and it's in the process of being restored right now, but it is rather impressive. And then the third floor, the House and Senate, of course, where they make the laws for us.
Although he died in 1917, prominent Franklin County artist Paul Sawyer's work is cherished today.
I think the reason that Paul Sawyer has become popular is not so much that it's limited editions, but the fact that he is an excellent artist, that when he painted in Kentucky back in the late 1800s and the early 1900s, he was considered an American Impressionist. That meant that he did scenes of Kentucky with the impressionistic style. And what we have tried to do is to make sure that people become aware of his style of work throughout the country. And so since 1968, over the last 20 years, there have been over 200 reproductions of his originals done. I think that if you were to review Sawyer's work and actually see a series of originals or art prints, you would see, first of all, he did scenes primarily of the Benson or Elkhorn Creek, Kentucky River, around Frankfort, the downtown Frankfort scenes, showing actually many of the people, the local buildings. Then he moves into the period where he painted scenes of the Palisades, the High Bridge, Camp Nelson area. Then it's a little bit more difficult to tell his work in New York because those often are mountainous or there might be snow in the scenes. You can tell his work because he did periods primarily where he would use greens and yellows. We discover later in the period when he was on the river and in New York, he started doing more oils. He started bringing additional tones such as the currently popular teal, green, dark green, purple tones into his work.
The candy at Rebecca Ruth's is also known nationwide.
Well, we're famous for our bourbon candy. We originated our bourbon creams back in 1937, I believe it was, but we've been in business since 1919. My mother and her was Ruth Hanley and eventually Boo, and her partner was Rebecca Gooch, and that's where the Rebecca Ruth came from. They were substitute school teachers, and they realized that they were probably better candy makers than they were school teachers, so they decided they'd go into business for themselves. They'd been making candy for friends for Christmas anyway. So they started out in the bar of the old Frankfort Hotel, and went there for about 5 years. And then Mother got married in 1924, and she sold out to Rebecca. And then I was born in 1927, and my father died that same year, and my mother came back to Frankfort and was looking for something to do, and then Rebecca decided to get married in 1929, so she sold the entire business back to my mother. And so it's been exclusively in our family since 1929. We've tried to concentrate on the quality of our candy. That's the reason our main distribution is through mail order and over-the-counter, because we can control our quality better that way. We looked at the possibility of distributing nationwide on a wholesale basis, But due to the short shelf life of the liquor candies, we decided that we'd be better off probably concentrating on mail order and over-the-counter. So that's what we do.
One employee has been with the company 60 years.
These are fudge nut balls. It goes in their sorted box. Chocolate fudge balls. Some people order them by the pound. I didn't realize it'd been so long. Seems like the time just goes on. And I've liked it. I always liked working here. It's interesting, things that come in and different things that people want.
I think that because of really that we have had such a loyal customer clientele that we must be watching our quality and keeping it going the way it was originally intended to be, and I think that's something that I'm very proud of.
Another Franklin County tradition is bourbon whiskey. Ancient Age has been in operation since 1869.
Ancient Age is one of the primary products at this plant, has been such since the World War II years when it was introduced. It became widely accepted and renowned the world over as a premium quality straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey. The process is traditional. It's manufactured manufactured from cereal grains, pure Kentucky limestone water, and a charred oaken barrel. These are the primary raw materials that go into the product. After distillation or after manufacture, it's placed in warehouses where it's matured and aged for 4 to 8 years, when it then is dumped and bottled. Our volume of business with the Ancient Age product is near 1 million cases a year, which is substantial. This converts itself to somewhere in the range of 50,000 barrels a year. So our production in our distillery is near 50,000 barrels a year, and our bottling from that is near 1 million cases a year. The thing that I enjoy, I guess, most about my time with the company is the people that work here. We are proud of our product. We're proud of our heritage, and being part of Kentucky's history and heritage is one of the things I take most pride in.
Business and industry in Franklin County when we return.
The integrity of a diamond, determined by the perfection of its many facets. The integrity of a jeweler, earned by quality selection and service to the customer. M.A. Selbert in Frankfort has earned that reputation of integrity through 117 years of interest in caring for our customers. Only the finest diamonds, gemstones, and watches, delicate china and crystal, jewelry repair, and professional appraisals. Integrity that is earned is always our business at M.A. Selbert, St. Clair Mall, Frankfort.
Farmers Bank and Capital Trust Company salutes Franklin County and its people. Farmers Bank and Capital Trust Company, since 1850, proud to be part of the good life in Franklin County.
The Capitol Plaza Hotel in Frankfort is proud to present country music's finest in an exciting 1989 concert series. On October 27th, see the incomparable T. Graham Brown. November 25th, celebrate Thanksgiving with Eddie Raven. And December 15th, Earl Thomas Conley ends the year with his unique musical show. Begin your evenings with dinner at the Plaza Grill or the luxurious River Cafe. Tickets are available through Ticketron, the Civic Center box office, and at the hotel. End 89 country style with the Capitol Plaza Hotel, Frankfort.
Fruit of the Loom began in Frankfort in 1932 as Union Underwear. They've expanded over the years to become one of the county's largest employers.
We have right at 1,500 employees, and we manufacture right at 110,000 dozen a week. And Then we ship about 120,000 dozen a week. And some ask me, you know, how do you do that? But we get goods in from the other plants that helped us with our orders, help fill our orders. So we ship more than we manufacture here. We manufacture, again, men's T-shirts and boys' T-shirts, and men's and boys' briefs. We manufacture the little Fun Pal briefs. I don't know whether you've seen those. They're the printed goods. And then we have the little girls' panties. That's another way we can ship more than we manufacture. The girls' panties are made at our Jamestown plant, and they're sent here. We do the printing, and then we ship, we finish and package and ship after we print. You know, the people, they're the ones that makes our company successful, and I think that the morale in the whole company, especially here at this plant, this is the plant that I know, and the morale is good here. And the people, you know, they work hard, but they, you know, they have a good time in doing it.
The Topi Corporation was one of the first Japanese automotive industries in Kentucky. It manufactures wheels for cars and pickup trucks. Since 1986, it's expanded and increased its employment from 80 to just over 300.
Well, Topi Corporation, the parent company is Topi Industries Limited, and they're headquartered in Tokyo, Japan. The two of our customers, our original customers, Nissan and Honda, requested Topi to locate a plant in the United States. And of course, Frankfort, Kentucky is almost exactly between the two locations, Honda being near Columbus and Nissan near Nashville. I think it's 200 miles one way and 194 the other way. So, and we're right on the interstate, so Frankfort was a logical choice for this plant. So the investment that Topi has made in this location and this community is kind of like seeing the plant and the operation is kind of like the tip of the iceberg. It's been so much to the community in employment and investment and purchase of goods, services. It's just, I don't think there's any way you can conceive all of the benefits that this has had for Frankfort and Franklin County.
General Electric opened its Franklin County plant in 1972 as an experimental facility. With over 300 employees, it's a tried and true manufacturing facility for the GE Appliance Division.
This facility can shut down any of the facilities in General Electric that make appliances right now. So it's very crucial because we run 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and supply probably about 12 different customers within GE Appliances. And each of them are expecting what we ship within either a day or at the maximum a week. And it's all they have lead time of their parts in their plant, so we're very crucial to their manufacturing. One of the things we really enjoy about being in Franklin County is the work ethic in this area, not just in Franklin County and Woodford, but in Shelby and Spencer and Anderson and all the other counties that we pull our employees from, and the family atmosphere that they bring to the plant, and their enthusiasm for making us succeed in the marketplace and in the business world. And they really have been extremely supportive all the way through in helping us meet whatever the challenge is at the time, whether it be experimental or now manufacturing or wherever we go. And we have enjoyed their participation in almost everything we do in the plant.
Preserving the environment is a concern of all of us. One local man who's in the recycling business sums up Franklin County with this bumper sticker. Business is great, people are terrific, life is wonderful.
I've been in the scrap metal recycling business 32 years, the 1st of January, and we handle all the major industrial plants in central Kentucky. We handle also paper, and we have in Lexington scrap metal, and Lexington recycling.
We feel like recycling is of utmost importance to our economy as well as to our environment. We take somewhat of an unusable product and turn it into something that is new and usable. As far as the economy, we take, again, something that's unusable, turn it into something that has value. And in the process, we feel like we're contributing to the soundness of our environment. Basically, what we do here, we are in the business of recycling scrap metals, aluminum, all types of copper and that sort of thing. We The bulk of our business is related to industrial type applications. We bring in material and through several processes, either sizing down the material, sorting the material, or baling or compressing the material, we turn it into a product that can be melted down at the steel mills. Once we have processed the material here, we load it, basically the bulk of the material, into rail cars, and it is shipped into steel mills, into smelting operations, foundries for melting down, and new products are made from the material.
Life on the farm when Kentucky Life in Franklin County continues.
For 60 years, Edna Robbins has crafted by hand the old-fashioned assortments at Rebecca Ruth Candies in Frankfort. Her commitment to her job is echoed in the quality of her handiwork. That quality is what Rebecca Ruth is all about. Only all-natural ingredients are used in Rebecca Ruth's famous bourbons, pull creams, buttercreams, and liqueur candies. And Rebecca Ruth's sweets without have no sugar or salt. Great gifts for everyone on your list. Rebecca Ruth, with 2 locations in Frankfort and 1 in Lexington, where commitment means quality and has for 70 years.
Monkey's Uncle Restaurant and Bar, Shoppers Village, Frankfort. Not your typical watering hole in the urban jungle.
Do you have credit problems, bad credit, even bankruptcy? Credit problems are no problem at Phil Williams Auto Sales in Frankfort and Lexington. We specialize in on-the-lot financing, low down payments, even zero money down with approved financing. Phil Williams carries good, clean, late-model used cars. And our on-the-lot financing means credit problems are no problem for you. Phil Williams Auto Sales in Frankfort at 940 Louisville Road next to Sailor's Restaurant, and in Lexington at 976 New Circle Road across from Paul Miller Ford. Phil Williams Auto Sales.
Franklin County has a thriving industrial base. One industry that continues to contribute to that success is agriculture.
Franklin County is a little bit different than many central Kentucky counties in that we have quite a few people here that are part-time farmers. 62% of our farm persons in Franklin County work at least 100 days off the farm. So that makes it a little bit different than many central Kentucky counties that were more of the population that are full-time farmers. So that's one big difference. But again, we're like many central Kentucky farms, counties, in that we have farmers that are heavy into beef cattle and into tobacco. We run about 10,000 brood cows and about another 10,000 calves or feeders. So we have a population of about 19 to 20,000 total livestock in the beef side of it. We have close to 4 million pounds of tobacco quota in Franklin County. I think the people, as much as anything, people in Kentucky are great no matter which county you're in, and I was in another county up until about 2.5 years ago, but people in Franklin County are very down to earth. They work very closely with the Extension Service, and I appreciate and enjoy doing that part of it. And I think they're willing to experiment some on some new ideas and try some new things, and that's helpful also.
Wilbert Perkins and his son Roger enjoy their family farm operation.
We run about 600. We got about 600 acres that we operating at. Me and my son and just our family works on it. My dad, he was with us for up until about 2 or 3 years ago, and he helps us now and then. See, he drives tractor for it and everything, but we're mostly just on our own now, just me and my son. And we raise about 80,000 pound tobacco, and background run around 300 head of steers in the summertime and 200 in the wintertime.
Background operation that we run is we buy cattle twice a year. We usually put in cattle at from 400 to 500 pounds and sell them from 7 to 8. And you just you don't necessarily have to be with steers or heifers or whatever. Just any type of cattle will do. But we try to get a lengthy type calf, something that will take on weight good, and that's what you look for. And of course, on the summer program, we try to put the best forage into them as far as grass and clover and so forth, and we try to get the gain off of grass. Whereas on the winter program, it's done with feed. And but that's about it.
I think the most is a family life. We have my grandchildren, and I have 2 daughters, and they help us, and my wife and my daughter-in-law, and all of us, we all get in, and well, my son-in-law, and all we all work together. And of course, they all have jobs in town, most of them. But then when we have a real tough time, well, they all come in and help us out, like setting and cutting and stuff like that. So we work closer together. I think that's mostly what I like about it more than anything.
Oh yeah, it's very much a challenge. Like Dad mentioned a while ago, I mean, at certain times of the year, it's really a challenge because there's whenever you're fooling with crops, especially tobacco, there's a time of year that things have to be done, and it's got to be done, no matter what cost. And yeah, that's a challenge, but I enjoy it. It's definitely different from anything else.
Another Franklin County man who savors farm life is Donnie Bailey.
Well, I grew up on a farm just down the road here, a mile, and I've always liked farming, but I just felt like I couldn't make it with farming full time. But finally, I worked for the state long enough I was able to retire, and now I can farm full time. And I raise 4 acres of tobacco, and I have about 35 cows and calves. And I have 62 acres here that I own, and I lease a couple places from my neighbors. My cows and calf operation seems to get a little better every year. It seems brighter to me. I really enjoy fooling with the cows and calves. I started out with straight purebred Angus cows, restored Angus cows, and for some reason they seem to like what they call a black white-faced baldy, and I bred to get that type calf, and now I've switched to a different type, which is a Simmental, and using black and black white-faced cows, and they seem to be doing real well. It's about the best you can get, really. You wouldn't. It's a good feeling. If you want to cheat a few minutes, you can cheat, or if you want to hustle, you can hustle and make a showing. I just hope more people get the opportunity to do it during their lifetime. So far I've only been doing it a little less than a year, but I've lost a few pounds. I've worked a little harder, but it's still a great feeling down deep inside.
When Mike and Carrie Creech purchased their farm 13 years ago, they had no idea it would end up a full-time business.
My husband and I run the business together, and we started out in the antique business and started growing the dried flowers to sell as accessory items and making potpourri. And pretty soon we had more demand for that than we did for the antiques, so we've gone into that full time. We're really a diverse operation. We grow flowers, which we dry and use in different crafts and potpourri and so forth, and herbs also to use for those same purposes. Then we have a line of gourmet foods, and we also have craftspeople in the area and also all over the state that make things for us, which we market for them. So we really have a lot of different things that we do here besides just being an herb farm. Always something going on, that's true. We work a lot of 12-hour days, and we employ 6 people here, and we have probably at least a dozen other people that work in their homes making things for us. And we are, the major part of our business is wholesale to other shops, and we're selling to stores all over the United States.
Dobry Adams loves sheep. She raises Lincoln Longwoods and has the only flock of Lincolns in Kentucky. She weaves the wool from her sheep, and one of her rugs will be on display this month in Louisville.
I think that I've always designed things. Everything I've ever done has had something to do with a design trend. That's included all the work I've done with computers and state government, and now this is just out of a culmination of that. I'm also wild about my sheep, and I've always wanted to do this sheep right through to final product, and that part is extremely exciting to me. The rugs that I weave use my hand-spun yarns. in both natural colors and dyed. And I dye with a chemical called Lanicet that's very safe and easy to use. And I actually paint the skeins with a brush. And so I use this combination of materials to make very heavy, textured, thick rugs, often influenced by landscapes. Right now I have a house guest, Victoria Carrasco from Ecuador. She lives in Quito. She's an artist, and she's brought many wonderful tapestries with her, as well as some of her enamel work. Victoria will be in Kentucky for a month. She'll be spending time in Lexington, in Louisville, and Berea. She will be at the Berea Fair of the Kentucky Guild of Artists and Craftsmen, which is the weekend of October 13th, 14th. She'll also be at St. James Fair in Louisville.
Sarah Pulliam also weaves. This native Franklin County and has worked on her craft nearly 60 years.
I make mostly placemats now, and then I make some rugs, and then I make the little bookmarks, and some of my rugs I fold them over and make pillows out of them, and that's about all that I make now. Well, it's quite a process. Now, just the weaving part is fun, but you have a warping bar that you have to put your warp up on, and then you take it off of there, and then you put it on, run it through heddles. Each thread goes through a certain heddle, and then it goes through the beating bar, and that's called a slave. And then it's tied up, and then you have treadles that you work with your feet, and the pedals are fastened to the treadles, and then certain patterns you do, but then you use your feet just like you was playing an organ. And that makes a shed, and then for your material to go through. What has it meant to me? Well, it's creative, and I love to show it to people, and I don't have to advertise very much. They come here, and the only place that I really sell is to the Historical Society, my placemats.
Joyce Nally is known throughout Franklin County as an excellent seamstress. Some of her work is on display right here at the Capitol every day.
I have been sewing for approximately 25 years, and I have made everything from doll clothes to wedding gowns. I have done some household items such as curtains and so forth. And I was a dressmaker for Mrs. Charlene Carroll when she was Lieutenant Governor's wife. And some of the things I have done include the two dolls that are on display in the Capitol. I dressed Mrs. Carroll and Mrs. Phyllis George Brown. And those are probably the two most famous things I have done because they are on view every day. It was a challenge, but I enjoyed all of it. When I did Mrs. Carroll's, I had her gown here at home to check what they had done to it. And for Mrs. Brown's, it was on display in the museum in Louisville. So I had to go up there and sketch the gown, and then I had color photographs to work from. And in both cases, the designers from New York sent fabrics and beads and so forth for the dolls' dresses. But on Mrs. Carroll's, it took me approximately 9 hours to get all the little beads sewn on. And for Mrs. Brown's, I think it was a week I worked on it. It was well worth all the effort. It was done by the Kentucky Federation of Women's Clubs. They sponsored the doll display, and they offered to pay me to do them. But I said I wanted no pay for it. I felt it was an honor to be asked to do the job.
Education in Franklin County, when Kentucky Life continues.
Looking for the perfect office interior at the perfect price? Choose from an array of office designs at Cardinal Office Systems. Whether you're furnishing a new building or replacing a desk, Cardinal Office Systems can design an office that fits your needs and your budget. Cardinal Office Systems offers interior design professionals to complete your office from start to finish, with carpeting, wallpaper, upholstery, and space planning for elaborate or simple styling. Make Cardinal Office Systems your single source for office furniture and interiors. Cardinal Office Systems in Nicholasville and Frankfort. It's an all-new fashion statement. The fall fashion new car lineup from Capital, Cadillac, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, GMC trucks, Frankfort. Cadillac, the ultimate fashion statement. Pontiac, excitement and style. Oldsmobile, the new generation. Save now on 89 and 1990 models. A reflection of quality. Capital, Cadillac, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, GMC trucks.
Right now, save up to $7,100 on new 89 models.
When it comes to home cooking, nothing beats your own special recipe. And when it comes to fast food, nothing is as close to homemade as Richie's. Like Richie's special recipe fried chicken, regular or hot and spicy. And Richie's hickory spiced pit barbecue, slow cooked for added flavor. Top off your meal with Richie's own potato wedges and an ice cold Pepsi. Richie's in downtown Frankfort and now with 2 locations in Lexington. The recipe for fast food that's home cooking good.
When it comes to hospitals, you'd like to know your community hospital is there and ready to serve you. HCA King's Daughters Memorial Hospital in Frankfort offers one of the most modern, fully equipped and well-staffed facilities in the area. Serving Franklin, Anderson, and neighboring counties, King's Daughters provides a wide range of services from 24-hour emergency care to obstetrics. With our broad range of medical services, we know you'll be glad you came to HCA King's Daughters Memorial Hospital.
Since 1886, Kentucky State University has been in the education business, and it's grown quite a bit. From one building with 55 students and 3 teachers to a 475-acre campus with 2,200 students.
I will say that we think Kentucky State is special for a number of reasons. It's very small. We have an excellent faculty. We have small classes where faculty know the students individually. They work very carefully with the students to make sure that when they leave this institution that they have not only gotten a degree, but an education as well. We're pleased with the programs that we have. We have a number of those. We're very pleased with the campus itself in terms of what you see right now. We think it's very pretty. We're proud of it. The students are proud, and so it makes a very pleasant environment in which to teach and learn.
Renovation has been Kentucky State's middle name for the past few years. This $35 to $40 million project has gotten national attention.
The university has received attention from several organizations that look at universities as model roles, and we've been listed with universities such as Vanderbilt and Boston University as one of the foremost universities in the nation for improving the facilities. I'm personally very proud to be here, and I know that several of the other people that are here over the years, we're taking a great deal of pride in it. And as a matter of fact, we're setting in motion plans to keep the university from ever being in a decayed state like it was before. And I think that's something that we can look forward to in the future.
The Whitney Young College of Leadership Studies has contributed to Kentucky State's stature as a liberal arts university.
Well, the school was founded in 1983 as part of an enhancement program here at KSU. The goal was to increase white enrollment, to improve quality, so it was part of an enhancement program which is aimed at integration. The program, which was put in place in 1983, was closely modeled on St. John's College of Annapolis, Maryland. That program has been slightly modified over the past few years. We now enroll a class of 60 to 80 freshmen per year. We function as something like the honors program here on the college. Right now our program is racially balanced. In the past 3 years that I've been here, every freshman class has increased until now we have 50% black enrollment and 50% white enrollment. I think it's the only program of its kind at a public school in the country.
The university's Aquaculture Center is the only one in the state of Kentucky.
This is Kentucky State's Aquaculture Research Center, and what we are all about here is essentially fish farming research. And what we're trying to do is come up with we don't say alternative crop, but a supplemental crop. Another crop that Kentucky's farmers can look at as a source of income. A lot of the research that we do is real applied type research, things like how many fish to stock, what size do you need to stock, and gearing some of the known production techniques used in the more southerly states like Mississippi to Kentucky conditions. We're trying to adapt this technology to Kentucky. This is a fairly new program. It was really initiated in about 1981. This facility took a while to construct, if you'll look around what's involved,
and we've really been fully operational probably since about '86 out here. So it's a new program, but we feel like now we have generated enough information that we can make Kentucky-based information available to Kentucky farmers.
The Government Services Center benefits both Kentucky State University and our state government.
I'm what's called a training consultant, and along with a staff of about 20 or 25 people, we offer classes, training classes in computers, management, general development, and skills to state employees. And those can range from stress management and time management to managing people in general to a variety of things, each of which has been pretty much put together in response to what state employees have told us they want. So our relationship to the university is characterized both by being on campus and at the same time having mission elements in our mission that replicate those that are with the university. We have about 6,200 to 6,900 employees a year that either come to campus or receive CEU certificates through the university to state employees. In addition, we share some interesting projects, the most important of which right now is a National Science Foundation project of 3 years in duration that focuses university professors' attention on graduates of our programs, and we're in hopes of having a landmark study by the end of 1990. Our final report should be due. So we feel like we have several good programs in place that kind of unite us with the university and make us feel part of it.
The Frankfort Independent School System has been serving the community 100 years.
We have 3 schools. We have the Frankfort High School here that has about 265 students. We have the elementary school over on 2nd Street that has about 550 students. And then we have an alternative school, which is in one of our buildings also down on Wilkinson Boulevard, that houses about 50 students and serves students from Franklin County and from Frankfort Independent, our school system, and Anderson County. The elementary school is probably it's in a position at this point, I think, to be one of the best in the state. We have just completed about a $3.5 million building renovation over there. We have new facilities almost throughout the building, from art and music and band rooms and new cafeterias, new gymnasium, a new office complex for all the counselors and the principals and all. And along with that, we have just an outstanding group of teachers, not only there but here as well. And I think, you know, this year our test scores, which I don't really want to get too deeply into that, but all I can say at this on the test scores is we're real proud of the way that our students scored this year.
The Franklin County school system meets the needs of 6,300 students in a variety of ways.
Basically, we believe that the main ingredient in an outstanding school system is quality of the teachers. And we give a lot of attention to the deployment of teachers and the development of teachers. Because if we have a teacher who believes in kids and who believes that they can learn and who sets goals and expectations for kids, that those kids will perform and they will learn and they will become a productive citizens in our society. And beyond that, of course, we do get into programming. We have an extensive events placement program in the high schools. We have gifted programs at the elementary schools. We have an outstanding special education program. We're constantly revising the curriculum and trying to find new and better ways of teaching reading and math and social studies and science.
Robert Hoagland has been with the Franklin County school system 22 years. He looks back on those years for us.
The kids are great. They're super, and it's wonderful to see them grow from the time they're a freshman till the time they're a senior till the time. Of course, I've got my grandchildren coming back now. You know, the kids that have graduated from school have had quite a few of them come back, but their sons or daughters are coming back. And it's wonderful to see the maturity, the growth that they make. And I suppose hopefully that's because of something we do here at school, you know, that they do grow. And we like to believe it is, and I'm sure that it is.
Built in 1980, Western Hills, Franklin County's newest high school, is celebrating its 10th year.
We have
in my mind, the finest student body I've ever been around. Everywhere I go, when I travel around the state of Kentucky to conferences, ball games, meetings, that sort of thing, all I ever hear are complimentary comments about how our students behave, how they represent themselves and represent Western Hills and our community. They're very easy to be proud of. In 10 years here, my students have done nothing that I could ever say to embarrass me or could ever possibly embarrass our community in any way, shape, or form. They're just, even for all the changes of kids coming through year in, year out, we just had a super bunch of youngsters here to work with. Of course, I also have in my mind the finest faculty I've ever worked with. And if you will talk to our students, you'll find that over the years one of the consistent themes has been that our teachers care. Our teachers listen to them and talk with them. And the relationship between the students and the faculty here has traditionally been a very good one and a very open one. And I guess, that along with the achievement academically, this is a fine high school. We've achieved very well. We've built an excellent reputation academically as well as socially in our first 10 years. And all of those things together, I guess, are the things that make me the proudest of this place.
Community services in Franklin County when Kentucky Life continues.
Frankfort's oldest new car dealer, Frankfort Chrysler, has a tremendous inventory of Chrysler cars and trucks on its lot on Schenkel Lane. We're proud of our selection of automobiles, but we know the reason our customers keep coming back is our people. Whether it's one of our outstanding salespeople or one of our highly qualified service technicians, the men and women of Frankfort Chrysler treat our customers with respect. Our high customer service index proves it. Frankfort Chrysler on Schenkel Lane off 421 North in Frankfort.
Your dream will worth the trip.
Deciding on furniture isn't easy. Deciding where to buy it should be. That's why Marcus Furniture in Frankfort makes your furniture buying experience enjoyable. With 4 levels of home furnishings and outstanding service and selection. Decorate any area in your home with names like Hickory, Bernhardt, Lee, Axel Hale, and Benchcraft, the best values in Central Kentucky. Plus, Marcus Furniture adds the finishing touches with custom drapery and carpeting. Furniture shopping made simple at Marcus Furniture, Frankfort. Quality home furnishing since 1906. Republic Savings Bank in Frankfort has a new location. Yes, it's true. It's on Frankfort's east-west connector right across from Walmart. There are plenty of large safe deposit boxes, Saturday banking hours, and lots of free parking at our new Frankfort Banking Center. Republic Savings Bank. If we were you, we'd bank with us. In Lexington on Alumni Drive at New Circle, and in Frankfort now on the east-west connector across from Walmart. Deposits insured to $100,000.
The Frankfort-Franklin County Chamber of Commerce helps the community in a variety of ways.
Well, the Chamber of Commerce and the Frankfort Tourist Commission are the center of hospitality here in the Frankfort community. And I think that what we do and what we center around is the hub of the community. People come in, we're the window of this area. We do a lot of working with industries that come into the community, tourists that come into the community that are visiting with us. So we work very closely with economic development. Tourism is economic development, and we work in those areas with the community and with the people that are coming in.
With 400 employees, 50 doctors, and between 250 and 300 volunteers, King's Daughters Memorial Hospital does an excellent job meeting the community's needs.
Our hospital opened in 1974, so we're 15 years old. We had our 15th anniversary this year with a lot of ceremony and celebration. And it's a full-service community hospital. We have a very active obstetrics program. We have a very active emergency room. We had a record of 1,670 visits last month, and it's growing. We have a lot of admissions, more admissions this year than last, and the same from the year before. We had a 10% increase in admissions. We have several new physicians on our staff this year. It's a growing medical community, and we're real pleased with our hospital. It's a family kind of hospital. Everyone knows each other, whether it's the patient knowing an employee or visitors knowing our employees and the doctors and so forth. It's very, very close hospital.
The Franklin County Committee on Aging has numerous programs designed for senior citizens.
One of the neat things that I witness day after day here is how central the center is in providing an outlet of socialization for our senior citizens. It's enjoyable to walk around the center. We have a pool room where some of our gentlemen play pool. You go into the dining room and the ladies sit around, they crochet and they talk and they share stories. I had a lady in my office this morning showing me a picture of her granddaughter and some other family pictures. And you see that it's meeting this real vacancy and void, sometimes created with the onset of the golden years.
The old Federal Building was renovated in 1976 to house the Paul Sawyer Public Library. They are especially proud of their newly designed children's room.
It went into construction in September of '87 and was opened in June of '88. So we're really proud of it. It's really gotten a lot of use and the kids really like it. It's different. It doesn't really look like a library. Last year we circulated over 190,000 items. We answered over 12,000 reference and information questions. 4,000 people came to programs at the library. We registered 1,500 new patrons. That's in addition to the 12 or 13,000 that we already have on the books as registered. So Frankfort is a community that is very supportive of their library, their public library.
The State Journal has been published in Franklin County since the early 1900s. This well-respected newspaper has a circulation of 10 to 11,000 and is read by nearly 40,000 people 6 days a week.
In addition to providing local and state, national, and international coverage daily, the newspaper sponsors the Kentucky Book Fair, which is now in its 8th year and is one of the largest of its kind in the nation. And we also sponsor a rather unique banquet for academic achievers in high schools, which is a little bit a cut above what those banquets usually are. We bring in a nationally recognized speaker, and we give the students who have made the achievement medals and really nice recognition. And it's communities. Those two are community services that the newspaper performs that we're really proud of.
WFKY AM and WKYW FM have community service as their goal.
I think what makes me the proudest is that I've inherited a job here about 3.5 years ago that came with a tremendous reputation of the radio stations being an institution. This radio station, WFKY specifically, has a history of being on the air when we were needed. We've had a couple of major floods here in the community. We had a tornado a number of years ago. We are able to stay on the air 24 hours a day and get the information out that the people need to know in a time of a crisis like that. And I think it's that ability to do that and the fact that we have done it and are willing to do it now that is the most exciting part of the Frankfort radio.
WKED-AM also entertains and informs the community.
Basic format I would put into two sections. One is the music, which is modern country, contemporary country, whatever you want to put the handle on for that. And the other factor is we're really a full-service station, and you have to be if you're in a small town like Frankfort that is surrounded by Lexington and Louisville and Cincinnati. You've got to serve the local town, and we do a tremendous amount of local news. Every hour that we're on the air 7 days a week, at least once, you've got local news, local sports, special kinds of local programming that come along. But the big accent is on information, particularly, of course, drive times, morning drive, and then we do a big afternoon news block from 4:30 till after 5 that encompasses a lot of factors of news and basic information, news, sports, business, health features.
More of Kentucky life in Franklin County when we return.
From the very first day State National Bank opened its doors in 1889, the bank has committed itself to serving Frankfort. Whether it was making possible a brand new Model T Ford in 1911, helping to develop Willow Crest subdivision in 1956, or financing the first city complex in 1989, the bank and its employees have remained committed. It's a tradition we're proud to uphold and continue, now and into the future. State National Bank of Frankfort. There is a difference in bank.
Capture the lifestyle of years gone by for the years to come at Kate's Country Blessings in Frankfort and the Old Stone Inn in Simpsonville. Kate's adds Victorian charm with beautiful furnishings, draperies, and interior design services for your home. Join us at the historic Old Stone Inn for a taste of Kentucky tradition. Built in the 1770s, the inn provides a quaint setting for those special moments. We offer Southern cooking and hospitality for your dining pleasure. Visit us at Kate's Country Blessings in Frankfort or dine with us at the Old Stone Inn in Simpsonville.
A quality product implies a dependable product, and we want to be looked upon as a dependable dealership because we realize that you're going to have maintenance requirements on the car, oil changes, tune-ups, and what have you. Our goal is to be recognized as the dependable quality dealer in the state of Kentucky, both for Toyota and Honda of Frankfort. And we're very fortunate that we have such a good quality product to start with.
We hope you've enjoyed our profile of Kentucky life in Franklin County. It's been a pleasure bringing this prosperous community home to you. I'm Bonnie Krasick. Good night.
A Current Affair, weekdays at 5 on WLEX TV.